Now that the Steam frame has been announced and we got the lowdown on everything this headset has to offer in terms of modularity, it's clear that this is the people's headset, and it's made very clear you can do basically what you want with it. It may have been a disappointment for some with specs lower than expected, but the possibility of modding may just compensate for that, and then some. From custom boot screen swappable components to full-on hardware add-ons that will almost certainly explode. Today we're going to go over mods that could turn the Steam frame from a Quest 3.5 into the Frankenstein headset of our dreams. So let's start with probably the most obvious, and in my opinion the most satisfying. That's the boot screen and the home screens. If any of you have a Steam Deck, then you'll know you can load custom boot screens, and some of them are hilarious. Take that and move it over to VR, you could have some epic intros, like the Ready Player One boot screen, or The Matrix, or even The Simpsons. Literally anything you could imagine. Give it a few weeks after launch and I can guarantee you will see these everywhere. But after that boot screen is the home environment, and on the Quest you're kind of limited to a few handmade from Meta, unless of course you go the SideQuest route. But Valve makes this significantly easier, and you can change this even in the current Steam VR build, let alone the frames. You can easily pick and download, say, PS2 Harry Potter Slytherin Quarters, Valve HQ, and again, The Simpsons. Pretty much anything you can imagine. Valve allows for significantly more customizability and makes it easier for devs and users to contribute. The next one we'll talk about is something I actually use the deck for the most, but it can actually go further thanks to some handy pieces of software, and that's emulation. The frame's ability to play flat screen games will no doubt give us the ability to emulate any retro game. When I say retro, I mean anything below Xbox 360, and this is mostly due to it being a weird architecture and hard to emulate even on a PC. I used to sit for hours playing Medieval on my deck, and to play these titles in VR will be even more nostalgic. But another app you probably all know of and could be playable inside the frame with some updates is emuVR. While I imagine this app will need to be ported to run outside of a PC environment, this is absolutely the platform for it. Emulating your 90s bedroom playing different titles is pure magic. And if emuVR does get ported to Linux, then you can modify your headset to boot VR emulators from the beginning. Or if any devs are technical enough, use emuVR emulation as the home environment, which would be insane. But one of the complaints, and definitely a justified complaint, is the lack of more premium hardware within the frame. The performance will be and should be better than the Quest 3, especially if they've managed to crack foveated rendering, but depending on who you speak to, it's a shame they went with a monochrome pass-through. Although I'm hoping this is because they managed to get the price down to something that fits within mass consumer range, but there could actually be a solution to this lack of premium hardware, and that's the PCIe port at the bottom of the frame. You could go completely wild with this. Think extra sensors for base station trackers, a proper full color pass-through module, an infrared module if you want to be like the Predator, a face tracking bar, an upgraded compute block, or even some sort of external mini GPU. But another thing that port could be useful for is something the VR scene has been seriously lacking in, and that's more compatible VR accessories like Treadmill and Haptic gloves. You could buy a Catwalk now and have compatibility with a standalone Quest, but it's not an ideal or optimal solution. Haptic gloves also aren't really compatible with standalone hardware, but the frame could change that, especially with that PCIe port acting as, say, some sort of receiver. And if, and that's a big if, this is heavily adopted, we could see an explosion in third-party accessories like haptic gloves. And just while I'm on the topic, the other day I got shown one of the coolest VR treadmills I've seen so far, and that's called the ODT1 by Accelerate. And it uses these tiny, surprisingly quiet ball bearings to act as the floor, so you can actually walk, not slide around like the other VR locomotion solutions. I feel like the Steam frame could be the perfect pairing with something like this. Low latency, realistic walking, and finally a step closer to more immersion. And speaking of more immersion, we could be getting closer to more native VR injectors. UEVR has been groundbreaking for playing non-VR games inside VR, and there is also a boatload of mods that do the same thing. A while back I played Left 4 Dead in VR, with a model leaving the description because it's insane. With the flexibility of the frame software, it's certainly possible that we'll get mods that allow VR versions of 2D games, or at the least 2.5D where your head is placed in the world, sort of like Moss. I can also imagine we'll see a boost in VR ports if the headset gets a good level of adoption. But the last and probably the biggest use case, and honestly the best thing about Valve, is they've made it abundantly clear that this is your headset. You can do what you want with it. It's the same story with the Steam Deck or any Valve product. When the Quest originally launched, I wanted to start my own business running custom experiences in, say, a shopping centre. But the Quest is incredibly restrictive. You can't change anything unless you want to invest in a business headset, and even then you still can't change anything. But that's where Valve is different. You can boot an entirely different OS if you want to, and this will pave the way for custom headsets. You could have a cinema OS that loads only films for private cinema experiences, or arcade OS for VR arcades, or even load Windows onto the thing. This headset can be stripped of its software to run smoother, or be converted into a dev-only device optimized for VR development. That's the advantage with Valve. The possibilities are endless. If you want to overclock or underclock, you can do all of that. I'd love to know ideas that you all have for the future of the Steam frame, so let me know down in the comments section below. If you liked today's video, like and subscribe. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one.